Hello and welcome to Noel's Retro Lab. Another week, another bunch of mail. I think there's some interesting things in there, so let's open them up and see what we find. Let's start with this big package. This one comes from Norway. This is a very recognizable power supply with annoying connectors. And there it is, a Dragon 32. So here it is, a Dragon 32, a not very well-known computer, although not nearly as obscure as the Enterprise that we saw a couple weeks ago. At least I think so. And yeah, this is also a very interesting computer, both from a technological point of view, but also from its history with what happened with the company, and actually somewhat similar to the Enterprise, not very successful. It got sold somewhere. So we'll see that at the same time we are going to repair it. I believe the problem with this one is that it seems to work sometimes, but not others, or there's some video glitch problem. So I suspect it could be some bad RAM in this one, or something similar. So it could be challenging if it's one of those problems that is not happening all the time. Those are always tougher to diagnose and fix, but it should be interesting. I have some experience repairing a Dragon 64. That was actually before I started making videos, but it's a shame because it was an epic repair that involved disassembling the ROM, and then eventually I started making my own changes to the ROM in order to diagnose it because it was failing halfway through the booting process. So we'll save that story for another day. So what else do we have in there? The power supply that we saw earlier. And this is kind of crucial when you're dealing with the Dragon computers because it has one of those really, apart from the plug, the connector itself, which is kind of annoying, it has, what is this? It has 8.5 volts. And is that AC or DC? That's AC. And it has, what is it, 1428? I don't know if it's a range or what exactly, but yeah, it's not one of those trivial power supplies to generate. So it's good that it comes with this one, and I believe this one is working. So that's great. Let's see, it also came with some software, I believe. So the box is beat up, but yeah, so this is a cartridge-based computer as well. It has it here on the side, so we'll see that. So that was one of the things that made it maybe different from an Amstrad, but I guess more like an MSX computer. So yeah, this huge box seems like half of it is empty space and it's just holding the cartridge. I love their logo. That's very cool. It also came with some original software, some cassette tapes. So it's interesting. At first I was looking out, they're all number 32. Right, that's a Dragon 32. I don't think they made any software specifically for Dragon 64. At least I'm not sure if they did or not back in the day. I'm sure today people are doing those. And yeah, it's always interesting seeing games that you're familiar with them in other platforms. Like I'm familiar with this game from the ZX Spectrum and the Amstrad. And it's, now seeing it on the Dragon, it's going to be interesting. I'd like to try this one and see how it compares. It also came with, looks like just a regular RF cable. So, okay, that's fine. And it came with some books, which I absolutely love, especially books that are about low-level system programming or assembly or machine language. I love those. One day, maybe I'll make a video about the different books of that type that I have for different computers. But this is awesome getting this one. Yeah, this Melbourne house seemed to have a lot of those kind of computers, a lot of those books. And this is just a collection of programs. So it's one of those type-in things. Not nearly as interesting, but still, I love getting some of those original books. I know you can get PDFs of those for free in general, but it's really hard to replace the feel of a physical book. And we got another book, the book of games. So I guess another type-in. And this looks like a piece of software So maybe it's about making music. The composer, a little bent, but it's in cassette. Yeah, it's not. Unfortunately, it's not in cartridge. But cool. So all in all, it's a pretty cool package for the Dragon 32, and this will definitely deserve its own episode talking about it and hopefully doing the fix as well. All right, let's see what we have next in here. Right, these are dynamic RAM chips. And of course, shipped in this. I don't believe this is ESD safe at all, but I'll have to replace that. So these are 41256 DRAM chips. So those are 64K times 4 bits. And these are for the memory expansion of the PCW 8256. I'd like to, once I get it working, so for that upcoming project, one of the first things I want to do is obviously get it working and then upgrade it to 512 RAM, or I don't know if you can even go beyond that. I'm not sure. If so, we'll try it. And then right after that, probably the one thing I want to do is set up a GoTech as well. So those are definitely 2 upgrades that I have in mind right away. And what do we have here? 1, 2, 3. What could this possibly be? So remember in the episode of the SVI 328 that we had a bad VDP and I had to order one from eBay. And then eventually when I got here, it didn't work at all because it was probably a fake chip. So I went ahead after that. Fortunately, I was able to use the one from the TI-99 4A, which uses the same VDP. And I said, okay, I'll just go ahead and order another one from eBay. Bad luck. And that's when people told me, watch out. Most of the TMS 9929A from eBay, they're all fake. And so I went, oh no, that's not good. And, if they're fake and you notice they're fake from eBay, it's very easy to get your money back. So it's not a big deal. And they're like $3 each or something. So I went ahead and ordered another one. And then somebody recommended maybe another vendor that was a little bit more reliable. And I went ahead and ordered that one. So what I'm going to do in a future episode is I'm going to pull out these 3. I'm not even going to open them right now, because I want to do that in the episode to document everything. I'm actually going to associate with the specific vendor names. And I'm going to test them in a special test kit and in a computer and compare it to the fake TMS 9929A and the non-working ones. So we'll find out of all those purchases from eBay, how many were fake chips. Next, I have a thin box from Deutschland. Wow, this is even bigger than I expected. So this is a board for the Professional Chip Tester. Oh, there it is, Chip Tester Professional. This is a massive board and also has the microcontroller already soldered in. This is a massive tester for all kinds of RAM chips and actually tests other things, EEPROMs and maybe logic chips as well. So, and it comes with, I guess, 2 PCBs. That's the power PCB and the main PCB. So there's definitely a lot to be assembled here. I should get the bill of materials and place the order right now. But that could be a really cool tool for testing chips. This supposedly even has the ability to test the chips without removing them. So still in the computer, in the board itself, which is something that I wanted to do with one of my own quick testers that I did with an Arduino, but never really worked. So I'll be curious to see if that really works reliably or not. So we'll probably have a whole video on this one. And finally, a smallish package from Spain. What is this? Is this a calculator? Kind of. This is a Casio PB100. And believe it or not, this is actually my first computer. So I get this both for a nostalgia point of view, and also because it will make an interesting episode to look at these kind of computers. I mean, this had a whole whopping 0.5 kilobyte. So yes, 512 bytes of RAM. Does it say that anywhere? No. And you could buy an expansion that brings it all the way to like 1K or something like that. And this one is cool because it comes with the manuals. And believe it or not, this is how I learned to program. So I'll tell the full story, but yeah, I mean, this is right away tells you how to learn BASIC. And even has some, I haven't even looked at it, but I still remember it has like a golf game at the back, and I thought it did. And I remember typing those. Yeah, oh, there you go, golf game. See, I wasn't making things up. So I remember typing this and then trying to figure out what is going on. I don't understand this, and going back. And, I wasn't very, very old back then. And yeah, this is how I learned computer programming. Obviously, this BASIC or any kind of programming. And believe it or not, I made my first game here. So this is a very special computer to me. So that's a lot of interesting stuff that is definitely going to lead to a lot of future videos and projects. So, by the way, some of you are asking me, are you seriously getting these many computers all the time in the lab? And not usually. Somehow, for some reason, for the last month, I've been getting some very interesting computers all in a row, but it's usually not this way. So need to lower the expectations a little bit for the next mail day video. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video. If so, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Until next video, see you then.